So this is a list of donors for the MVFD. MVFD, what's the V? Moscow Volunteer Fire Department. Donors to the fire department. Well, it's actually to the rescue service. Our generous donors listed below help more than 100 volunteers train to a professional standard and provide the support needed to care for our community. Now, am I right in thinking that, from George Floyd's restraint and unfortunate's not the right word, horrific murder on the streets of Minneapolis. Most people will have noted that that fire departments go to other calls besides just for fire and rescue. They also go to other calls where they may need EMS. I think that also happened with a case, and this was a stabbing case, the stabbing of and murder of Catalina Palomino in 1996 in Houston, Texas. Oh God, who's this person? Somebody with dogs. Getting a bit jumpy. Do we know if EMS, fire EMS, would have been part of the emergency response team to 1122? So, our generous donors listed below help more than 100 volunteers train to a professional standard and provide the support needed to care for our community. So the people in this list are donors, and are they donating their expertise then, or donating money, or maybe could be donating either, to help more than 100 volunteers trained to a professional. They're using volunteers in some emergencies, and that's quite a lot of volunteers actually. And our volunteers are a blend of long-time community members and motivated college students. Student resident firefighters live in our three stations, just in Moscow, providing immediate response to the community and gaining valuable experience for themselves, as many aspire for careers in emergency services. They work side by side with our community volunteers to build an emergency response system that rivals many career departments. Does this mean that they're just basically using loads of people for free? I wonder how many are actually trained. Your financial support helps us. Oh, it is financial. Your financial support helps us maintain the high level of service you expect and deserve. Okay, so there's a couple of people on the list that are quite interesting and who are providing, as it says here, financial support. Then we've got the list. So the 2023 donors. And there's one person and one organisation that I noticed. So, just seeing if there's anybody else that I haven't noticed. So, Kathy Mabbott is on the list. So, she's a donor. And it says financial donors, doesn't it? So let's just have another check. Your financial support helps us maintain the high level of service you expect and deserve. Our generous donors listed below help more than 100 volunteers trained to, so they help with their help through financial donations. So they're paying for the training basically. So Kathy Mabbott's paying towards the training with, obviously not on her own, with all these other people. And I presume people just donate as much or as little. I don't know how that this is decided, but here we go. We've got the Corner Club as well. So they're donors as well. I wonder how much they donate. So those are the two people that I just noticed on this list, or one organisation. And Kathy Mabbott. You've got to keep the donors happy, haven't you? And there's a couple of other people, but they're people that I've noticed that they're probably not hugely relevant. They're not names that you would have come across. They're just names linked to people that I've looked at for various reasons. Just seeing if there's any other names of any other donors that might be of interest. Ugh, low battery. My phone is so hot, it feels like it's going to explode. Hopefully it won't, because my face is a bit close to it. A lot of donors. Interesting to know. I might have to look up some of these names and see what these people do, who they are. Look at this for entertainment. Looking at names. Exciting, isn't it? Mighty cause. I'm just showing you just in case there's any names that you think, oh, yeah. Brian Coburg. No, joking. He's not on the list. I don't think I've spotted anybody else of interest. What makes people decide to donate? I wouldn't even think of doing that. What prompts it? Oh, that's the 2021. Well, what happened to 2022? Hold on. I didn't even realise there was another list under this list. We got 2023 donors. They've hidden the 2022 donors list. Da, da, da. What the hell? I was more technical, I'd used a decent sound effect there. 2023 donors, and then 2021, no 2022, the plot thickens. But why does this one say, oh right, they've separated them into businesses and individuals here for some reason. Maybe it's somebody else making the list last time. I don't know why they'd do it differently. But they've hide and fur, Moscow hide and fur. But they've got a knife or two. Women of the Moose, chapter 710. Albright. It's because of Albrightsville that Albright keeps that name that's already come up once before. Lots of Andersons. All the Andersons. Do you think they've got less donors now? This looks like a lot more people. Like, I don't remember so many people with the same initial letter to their name. The donors have dwindled, I think. God, look at all those donors they had before. Again, we're at the exciting part. Another cliffhanger here. Who was donating in 2022? Why is the list not here? Intriguing. Just trying to make this bit more exciting. Oh, hold on. We've got Chick and Kathy Mabbott there. And later, we've only got Kathy Mabbott. Chick was like, I'm out. I'm not donating to these clowns any longer. I should put some music to this. Maybe I could sing. Anybody got any requests? There won't be anything juicy. They've taken the juicy bit out. See, this is it. All this transparency, like being able to watch the court, the trials and all the information that they put out. They will always redact the interesting bits, so you never get the full story. They just make us believe that there's transparency. They try to give us the impression that there's transparency, but I think it's they've dressed all this openness, all this transparency up as something that it isn't. Oh God, can you hear my son in the background? I do apologise. Right, that's it. I'll show you their Facebook page. And this is their Facebook page as well. And something I found interesting. I think it was on Jay's for Justice's video of the entire grub truck, the whole Twitch stream 4 hours or something, and but there's no timer on it. But at one point, really close together, there were 2 sirens, and one of the guys in the grub truck commented that it was an ambulance. But people really, because some places have more ambulances than other places, that can be a normal sound for one place, whereas it could be really unusual for another. And people really did stop and look, and the people in the grub truck, particularly the guy who, you don't see him later on, but I don't think, maybe you do, but I don't remember him later. But earlier in the video, he's the one taking the money. And he really kind of looked a bit, not shocked, but like it was something unusual, his expression told me. And it was like within about 5 minutes, there were 2 lots, and it was a lot of sirens. It wasn't just like one vehicle. And then there was another siren a little bit after that, but that was literally one vehicle, and it sounded a bit more distant. But there were 2. They went, I'm not sure, I can't remember if they actually went past the grub truck, and I can't even tell you. It was like within the first hour of the video, I think. See if I can do a better job of telling you when it was. I mean, obviously it could be completely irrelevant, but I don't feel like any of us are confident about what happened that night, what time anything happened. If, there might have been something that happened first. It could be that there was some kind of altercation incident, something that happened where an ambulance was required, but nobody was taken to hospital, possibly. And then something happened later, or, I don't know. There was a lot of events going on, weren't there? So I thought somebody might start chatting about it at the grub truck. I thought they might ask somebody, do you know what that ambulance is for? Because I would, I'm a nosy bugger. But nobody, well, as far as I didn't get that far, because I got a bit interested in something that was going on that seemed a bit kind of weird. But it's interesting, isn't it, watching people? Like, all of it could be completely irrelevant, but some behaviours are really intriguing. So let's have a little look through here. Because they're wearing dark colours, aren't they? And this is the summer. I mean, you would think that he would mention that Dylan would mention that they were in uniform, but you don't know what they've omitted from the from her statement. Like, this person, like, that's in the dark navy blue could look black, and in the winter they might have like a long sleeve top underneath. I don't know. I mean, that guy bottom corner, he looks like he's wearing black, doesn't he? They do. I need to see it see what they're wearing in the winter. See if there's any bushy eyebrows out and about. The thing is, I can't completely discount the possibility that, because I am as I've said before, I'm on the fence. I can't discount the possibility that Brian Koberger may have actually got that internship job, because they've never, the independent newspaper asked them whether he started working there. They just didn't reply. That's kind of weird that they haven't replied. And it could be that he was working there for them, so he had a reason for his DNA to be there and he's completely innocent. Or it could be that they knew all along that there was something dodgy going on, because it kind of seems that they decided it was a targeted attack straight away. And it seems like it might have something to do with Kaylee's LinkedIn, and it does make me wonder if she was maybe doing some kind of, I don't know, she could have done some volunteer work like this sort of thing maybe. That person in the middle is all in dark colours. Everybody else is... It does sound like I'm here to help, because the thing is, it could be people pose as police officers. Police officers, obviously these people who help are in a position where they could take advantage of that, but there's also people who could pretend to be people who help. So it looks like they do sometimes wear black. I mean, unless he's just wearing his normal clothes there. We're in February now. So they would be wearing those clothes on top. Generally speaking. So I'm confused about the difference with in the UK, ambulance and EMS ambulance and fire are entirely separate. They wouldn't be working, they'd only be working together when they happen to end up at a scene together, and fire departments don't go out, they're not, they don't go out to as many call outs. They're not sort of required as extra kind of paramedics. They do their job and the ambulance service do their job. So what I'm confused about here is the uniform. Do they all have the same uniform? And I'm wondering if these are two different uniforms then, if like maybe the ones in navy blue are who are like paramedics, EMS, and the girl, you would think that's the fire department uniform. Do you think that's the case? Because those have got to be two different uniforms, haven't they? Just noticed the black gloves as well. So, I mean, they're looking for... I don't know if they were looking for black gloves in Brian Koberger's house, but they noted his black gloves. And, I mean, we're seeing black gloves all over the place. Rosendahl was it him or was it Tisdale who were writing up those Banfield boys wearing black gloves? We've got the first responders all wearing black gloves. And then we've got a black glove found by the corner of the driveway, just within the driveway, with DNA on it. And I mean, I know they have to take whatever they see there, but would he really have kept that black glove and then packed it and taken it to Pennsylvania with him? I mean, this genius, this amazing criminal mind must be pretty stupid. This criminal mind with limited common sense. I think it's possible this person could have been wearing navy blue. So thinking of our University of Idaho, Moscow and first responder community today. Doesn't say whether they went to 1122, whether they attended the crime scene or not. Our hearts go out to the families and friends who lost their loved ones and all those affected by this tragic event. There's only a few comments. There's just these. I don't know why that person hasn't got a picture. Oh dear, Dana. This isn't looking or sounding good. Did some of your firefighters get killed? That would be horrific. I wonder when that was posted, because fairly quickly people knew in the community what had happened. And then, so it's just these 4 comments, maybe some have been deleted, and then it's somebody they're a group of people, some of them are actually people, at least one of those. In fact, the last person who commented there, who didn't appear to know what had happened. I forget which order the comments come in, whether the newest are at the top or the bottom. I've got to assume that must be the oldest then, I assume, because the other people seem to know what's happened. But that person at the bottom is then with other people, because they're part of this clothes team, selling T-shirts. I do not know. It's a bit weird to have put that on the bottom. I don't know what the T-shirt is. See if I can get a bit closer. I mean, if it's just for the... Well, it looks like it's just for the fire department, but why would you put that on the end of there? It's a bit insensitive. Clearly having an ADHD moment there, because if 43 weeks ago would be more recent, that seems weird. Like, that's a whole week later. So all these people know a week before whoever this person is. Or maybe they just didn't look at the date and didn't know what it was referring to. But then they decided to cash in on it a week later. Because that's... Well, no, not a week later, quite a few weeks later. They must have seen that there's 100 people that had... over 100 people that had liked this. So this was a good place to plop this advert. Although slightly insensitive, as I say. Potential flooding this week. This is interesting. Stove. Somebody was trying to... Can I see? One, but there's two there. Interesting, isn't it? There was something happened on Indian Hills Drive. Just... when was it? Just 9 days before. Great response and life save. A fall and and fire alarm. Interesting. Well, that's about it for that video. I realised the video that I posted... oh my god. The video that I uploaded yesterday seems to be a silent movie, but it's not a silent movie on my phone, which is really, really weird, because then I've uploaded it and there's no sound whatsoever. Really odd. So I have uploaded it again, and so there's nothing groundbreaking in it. Just to be honest, it's quite an interesting case if you haven't heard of it, and just a bit of a discussion point to discuss sort of this stalker theory, and generally just an excuse to look at a bit of true crime. But yeah, interesting. This guy was stalking from the age of 12. Crazy. Anyway, that's about all. I might have a look at some of those names and see who some of the people are on the donors list, and let me know if you recognise any sort of businesses or names, and let me know what you think about the 1922 it's going back a bit, the 2022 list being absent. Just something, completely unrelated, or could it have been deliberately deleted? Could there be a bit of dirty deleting going on there? So I'll catch you again soon.